Rise, warrior.
Hello everyone, and today we're taking a look at Volgarr the Viking. This was a game that was released on the 13th of this month. Not a demo, I don't think there is a demo, this is the full game. Developed by Crazy Viking Studios, and I believe it is their first game. Published by Adult Swim Games, Volgarr is, I believe, a Kickstarter success story. I think that is where this game first showed up. It was funded, and now it's available on the PC, on Steam. Full game, no early access here. Full product available to buy. Alright, so we just start off right away. Volgarr the Viking, he's been resurrected by Odin, as Volgarr had fallen in battle. But Volgarr, being the mighty warrior he is just the man that Odin needs to kill a pesky dragon named Fafnir, who is causing all kinds of havoc. It says so in the manual, which you can read through Steam. I don't know if I've ever seen a game do that before. I don't think I've ever bought a game on Steam that actually had a manual. This one does. It's quite nice, too. So what's Volgarr all about? Well, it's side-scrolling, it's sprite-based, we jump, we slash, we fight enemies. Volgarr, I think, is becoming well known for its difficulty. More than anything else, it's known as a hard game, I think. But I would say it's fair. It gives you all the tools you need to get past any of the obstacles they put in your way. Yep. I got hit and lost my hammer shield. If I get hit one more time, I die. See, the thing about Volgarr, we don't have a health meter or anything. How many hits we can take is determined by what our equipment is. Got bees. If I can get this treasure chest... Yep. Got my shield back. Now if I get hit, I lose that, but I don't die yet. So we can get this shield, we can get a better shield, we can get a helmet, we can get a flaming sword. The flaming sword increases our damage, but the helmet and the shield allow us to take hits before we die. So, at least, even if we get hit, it does give us the opportunity to try to get our equipment back. Just got a little secret down here. Sacred Mjolnir! Hammer of the son of Odin. It's ours now. We can't use it as a weapon, but if we get hit, it is yet another protection against death. And we'll probably see that, because I'll probably get hit at some point during this video. Can almost guarantee that. As you can see in our arsenal, we have the sword, we also have the spear. Volgarr, rather versatile. You don't have to get up close to enemies to kill them. And as I'm sure you've noticed, we're using our spears as platforms. That's what Mjolnir does. If I get hit while it's equipped, the lightning of Thor shoots out. The Odin force, you might say, shoots out from Volgarr, destroying all around him, and we don't take damage. So you might be wondering what's happening in this level. According to the manual, this is World 1, the Jungle of the Claw. Apparently the lizard men have become aggressive and are raiding other lands due to one lizard man being enhanced by Fafnir being turned into a giant. And so the lizard men are now united and aggressive. You don't find this out in the game. You have to read the manual. Just a little bit of story, but it's enough. At least to know where you are and what's going on. Anyway, Odin wants to put a stop to all this. He's not a fan of it. Not just the lizard men, but Fafnir in general. That's what we have to do. I guess Odin is busy. He has other things on his mind. He is Odin. Something else you might notice is that these lizard men can actually do platforming themselves. If they're trying to get to you and run into an obstacle, they can jump over it. Don't think they can't. They will. Apparently that spear cannot hold the weight of that spider monster. It can hold Volgarr just fine, which is kind of odd, because Volgarr does not look like a light man. This is a game where you're going to die a lot, and you're going to redo the levels over and over. Because this game's not about reflexes. Really, at least so far, I don't think it is. It's really more about knowing exactly where all the enemies are and what they're going to do and what you need to do to counter them. So even though this might look easy right now, See, that was reflexes, but for the most part, I don't think it has much to do with it. It may not look that hard right now, but that's because I've played this opening area a few times, so I kind of know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Oh, there's our lightning helm. Now I have an added degree of protection against these beasts! Alright, that part is reflexes too. So sometimes it tries to surprise you. But for the most part, it's just about knowing when these enemies are going to be coming at you, what exact motions you have to do, and practicing that over and over and over, and that's the first... well, not the entire first world, first area of the first world, let's say. You know, I think that Volgarr is going to remind different people of different games. You know, just some hard, sprite-based oh, my shield protected me. I messed up there. I didn't mean to jump into that arrow. But my shield protected our body from the points of yon arrow, and now we have a flaming sword. We do double damage with the flaming sword. Like I said, I think this game will remind different people of different games. Games from your youth, from the 8 or 16-bit days, difficult side-scrollers. I think this is going to vary from person to person who they think Volgarr takes influence from. For me, though, the game that this reminds me of more than anything, I think, is ActRaiser 2. I don't mean that in a bad way, because I know a lot of people don't seem to like that game. I really liked ActRaiser 2. I think it's held up very well, and held up better than the first one, actually. The way you move around real slow, it's very deliberate. You have this sword and shield. It just kind of reminds me of the pacing and just the mechanics of ActRaiser 2. Though, of course, we don't have wings. We can double jump. Once again, Thor's enchanted Uru Mallet is ours, gaining his lightning protection. So anyway, yeah, I mean, this might remind you of... whoops. I've heard Ghouls and Ghosts. I've heard people compare it to Rostan. But for me, it's ActRaiser 2 is what this is reminding me of. Uh-oh, that thing's shooting arrows at us, but we're wearing a shield on our back right now, which protects us. That's kind of risky to do, though, because the arrows can actually hit either above or below that shield and will hurt us, so kind of taking a risk by doing that. I found out you could do that by accident. I also found out that the arrows could hit your legs under the shield by accident. Like I said, the enemies are capable of platforming themselves, so they're jumping around trying to get at us, though they seem to lose direction pretty easily. I'm looking for that red one. Oh, there he is. Oh, alright. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, sure, fine. I don't have a problem with that. There are some areas where it seems that enemies spawn infinitely. This seems like one of them. I don't think they stop coming. The green ones, anyway. That red one, there is only the one of them. We're fully equipped right now. No more equipment to get, so we're just going to get treasures from these, as well as something else that we'll need. Maybe we'll see it. You might notice I have that little roll move, which is very useful. See, for example, you have to know exactly where to stand to avoid those acid pellets coming down on us. And we have to know that there are these little gaps in these walls that I can throw my spears through. Why would I want to do that? Because they block the acid. So, I mean, just things that you wouldn't know unless you've played through it a few times. I'm cautious because even though I'm all decked out, if I do get hit, I will lose my flaming sword and my helm. I think I'll still have the hammer shield, though. This game, I think, you can come hot or cold to. When I first started playing it, it seemed slow and kind of unresponsive. But that's how it's meant to be. Like I said, it's very slow and deliberate. You're not meant to be doing any fast moves or anything like that. You kind of have to accept Volgarr on its own terms. If you're coming into it expecting to play like a more agile platformer, like, I don't know, Mario or something like that, probably won't like it very much. Oh, I got a blue glowy thing. Set in the corner I have won. Now what will that do? We'll find out after the level is over. This is a vicious trap. How do you suppose we get past this? Volgarr is not all power. He does have his intelligence, and he also appreciates the fine music of the harp. What, you're going to make fun of Volgarr for playing the harp? I don't know if he actually does play the harp, or if he just wants to collect the gold harp. I like to believe that Volgarr, in his spare time, does play. He likes the gentle sounds. I also like when we're standing still and using the sword, how his bottom half does not move at all. Great balance. Just can swing that all day without moving any part of his lower body. And here's the Lizard Man King, who has turned into a giant. I mentioned this before. Well, here he is. He was transformed with the magic of Fafnir, and that was not a cutscene at the beginning where he initially smashed that wall. That's gameplay, so if the first time you're playing through this, you'll probably be taken by surprise, and probably killed. I know that looked easy. That took me so long to do. All this treasure! Volgarr is well rewarded. And now we're in Volgar's home. His little sanctuary. And if you remember, if you ever played DuckTales or saw the cartoon, Volgarr has his own money bin, let's say. It fills up with the treasures and spoils of war that he collects after each of these worlds. Because World 1 is done. We're done with the Jungle of the Claw. Killed that king. Now, what we could do is we could leave Volgar's domicile to the bottom right, go on to the next level, but you might have noticed that when I arrived, one of those blue glowies left Volgarr and went up here to the statue of a Valkyrie. You see, the blue glowies allow us to unlock the path of the Valkyrie in each world. According to the manual, the path of the Valkyrie gives you only limited lives to complete. They're more difficult than the normal levels, and it seems, from what I've read, that you have to complete all of the paths of the Valkyrie in order to access the final secret level. So there's a secret at the end, if we actually complete all these. As we start the path of the Valkyrie, you might notice that Valkyrie is following us. She'll bring us back to life. Oh. High technology. You see, this is World 2, the city of Akron, and according to the manual, it's inhabited by a race of advanced fishmen, and Fafnir has unlocked the secrets of their ancient technology. Now the fishmen are preparing to invade the land, while Volgarr, has a little snack. There's nothing wrong with that. This is tiring work. You'll get hungry doing this. Alright, so what do we want to do here? Okay, so there's some advanced technology right there. That's advanced. It's piloted by a fishman. Now... okay. I was saved by Mjolnir. See, I had to dodge both of those at once. Those little pod things explode when you kill them, taking out anything right next to them, including enemies. That's a different colored fish man up... Oh, I wasn't even thinking. I got hit, lost my helm. The different colored fishmen have different patterns. You just gotta know what it is they do. That dark blue one will jump whenever I try to attack first, so I have to attack again when he lands. Trying to think about if I want to do a single jump or double jump to get to the top of that. Whoops. Well, I realized I died, but at the same time I realized there was a secret right there. I didn't know that was there before. Now I do. I lost a life. So like I said, I don't have infinite lives right now. If I die, I'll have to start the normal world too. And I don't get to try again unless I restart the game. See, it's that kind of game. You're meant to just, whoops, like an old style side-scrolling game, you're meant to just go through the whole game every time you play. There is a stage select if you walk to the left at the beginning of a world, but why would we want to do that? To get the best ending, we would need... Oh, well, to get the best ending, we would need to complete... Whoops. To go through the entire game in one go. I understand that there are 3 endings. Don't know what they are. But if we use the stage select, we would not be getting the best ending. Nor should we. What kind of path is that for a warrior like Volgarr? Ah. Oh. Okay, I did a roll instead of a jump, a double jump. That was a mistake. I managed to recover from it, which surprises me. Once again, Hammer of Thor to protect us. And we need all the protection we can get. Whoop, messed that up, but fortunately Mjolnir was there. Hope I okay, I recovered from that. Okay, I mentioned something about reflexes not having a whole lot to do with the game, but that part was all completely reflexes, so maybe I'm a bit wrong about that. I wonder if I have to catch up with that, yeah, with that thing. Or maybe not, I think it stopped. I haven't gotten this far in the Path of the Valkyrie, by the way. So this is all new to me. Which means I will probably... Yes, which means I will probably die any second now. You see, that's the thing about Volgarr. It's pretty easy to identify which parts I've played before, and what I have not. Up to that point, I had. And once I got to a part where I had not been, I died very quickly. I think that might be... Yep, that's all the lives. The Valkyrie going back to Odin saying Volgarr didn't have what it took. He couldn't do it. Now Volgarr has to hang his head in shame because Odin knows he cannot complete the Path of the Valkyrie. This is the normal world too. I haven't completed it, so we'll see how far I can get. Right, so I mean, all this, up to this point, it's just all... I'm just playing this all by rote, really. Since I've played this part quite a few times at this point. I'm going through this because I know exactly where everything is. I hope that statement doesn't come back to haunt me. Right, that's how you're supposed to kill those red guys. Give them a little of the downstab. I've retrieved, once again, mine helm. protecting our head with the power of Odin. Actually, this is, according to the manual, this is Baldur's helm. I guess it all just comes from Odin in one way or another. By the way, I don't think I mentioned, those blue crystals at the beginning of each of these levels are the checkpoints. Those are the only checkpoints. So if you were paying attention to how often or how not often I encountered those, then you can get an idea of what it's like to die a lot in this game, how many times you'll have to repeat the same areas. If you don't like that, I mean, this really isn't a game for you, but I don't think it's to this game's detriment. I think that works with the type of game this is. The levels are not long, really. I mean, you saw how quickly I completed World 1, since I already knew how to do the whole thing and knew where everything was. The game can't be very easy, because otherwise you're just going to complete it very quickly, aren't you? And really, this game seems to be all about mastery. Being able to figure out how to do everything and just... Well, hold on. There's... Where is it? Right. Speedrun HUD. So, the creators of the game intend for you to be able to speedrun it. They want you to do that. Actually, what is that? I've never actually turned that on. Oh, okay, there's a timer in the lower right now. That's what that does. So you can see the mindset of the creators, what they wanted people to play this, how they wanted people to play it. Maybe I should have turned that on to begin with. Well, I don't think I'll be breaking any records. I'm sure there have been some impressive speedruns of the game already, because that's how the internet goes. I'm playing this, by the way, with an Xbox 360 gamepad. You can play it with a keyboard as well. As well as with direct input gamepads. But this is the one I'm using, and it's worked great. I mean, even though, of course, the 360 D-pad is not known for being good or anything, I think it's worked fine with this game. Gotta catch up. Or do I? Oh no, it stopped. Okay. Just kind of worried that it'll go on ahead and I'll miss my opportunity. But no, it reached its end. And we've reached the end of this little area. Going on into the next room. Oh, I missed that chest. Forgot all about it. Got some water, and Volgarr can hold his breath pretty well. They are fishmen, after all, so there will be water. Now we can see a fishman in his natural habitat. He swims a lot faster than he walks. Uh-oh. Volgarr running out of air. Fortunately, we just need a quick dip above the surface to replenish. But yes, he can drown. I did fall all the way back down there, but I find that to be a less risky way of taking that guy out, rather than jumping forward, because I might have been hit and then lost my hammer shield. By the way, I don't think I mentioned the hammer shield. What that does is if I hold up, I can throw a charged spear. I really haven't had too much of an opportunity or reason to do that, but you can do it. That's what it does. Our helm, once again, by Odin's beard, we have it. Volgarr also likes his money, as you saw with his little money pit. He will take the time to collect these coins and jewels. Oh. So anyway, like I said, Volgarr, difficult, but fair. a slow-moving character, but pretty versatile, being able to attack in all sorts of directions and use his spears, as well as using them for platforms, as well as jumping. That was a hit. And okay. You see, I went from doing all right to dying very quickly. That's the way Volgarr is. One moment you think you're doing great, and the next, you're back at the last checkpoint. That is not how I should have done that. That's something you'll be saying a lot when you play Volgarr. Though it might be louder and more vulgar. Oh! I thought I was going to survive that, and I didn't. In any case, lives in the normal path are not an issue. We'll just keep replenishing ourselves at those checkpoints, those blue crystals, as many times as we die, which is good, because, like I said, we'll be playing these levels over and over again, now won't we? And I keep forgetting about that treasure chest. I really shouldn't. Because getting that shield would be helpful. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, that's how I want to do it. Use this jump back to use the spear, then double jump forward to grab the chain again. That was a much better way of doing it. Oh, got him. Out of the air. So yeah, you can see part of playing this game is just figuring out new and better ways of doing what you've been doing. That was not a new and better way. Not at all. Now I'm back to dying in one hit again. Oh, this looks fun. And I die in one hit, so let's see. Oh, I knew. Yeah, I messed up and pressed the double jump button. Tapped it instinctively, even though I knew I should not have double jumped until the middle of the spikes. Okay, we've been going for almost a half an hour. I'll give it one more try. And that's another thing you'll be saying when playing Volgarr. That's the type of game it is. You play, you make a little progress, you die, you try again, do something a little bit better than you did last time, make it a little further. Figure out a better, faster way of doing something. And that is pretty much how the Volgarr experience goes. There we go. Not talking can make a difference. Uh-oh. Running out of air. Have I been underwater that long? I guess so. Okay. Just need to tap the surface for a little bit, and it'll be alright. Got a flaming sword, which, making bubbles underwater. I don't know if it's double strength works underwater. Oh, that's tricky. That is a dirty trick. Went for it. Did not work again. Okay, that I'm honestly not sure how I was supposed to get past. Anyway, that's Volgarr the Viking. Available on Steam for your PC, home computer, entertainment, internet systems that you probably have somewhere. Maybe a laptop, I don't know, something. Probably something runs Windows that you have, I imagine. Don't know if it's supposed to come out for consoles, though it seems like it would be a good fit, but I don't know if there are any plans for that. That's Volgarr the Viking. I like it quite a bit. I think it's very fun, and it's the type of hard that I enjoy. It's hard but fair, and it's a sort of... I like playing it over and over, because you have to, because you're going to die a lot, and you're going to have to keep playing it over and over. You're not going to get through it on your first time, or your second time, or your third time, or your fourth time. You're only going to get through it once you know it like the back of your hand, and I think that, as far as a game like that goes, this is pretty good. Well, that's Volgarr the Viking on PC. You can get it on Steam if you want.